16 years. She is also the host of the Lotus Lounge podcast on iHeartRadio and Spotify, a 2025 Caribbean Business Network Boss Lady honoree, and a graduate of the 2020 Prince William Leadership Program. Please help me welcome Uma.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Woo, that mirror. Woke me right up. All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How are we feeling?
Great.
Yeah? You look pumped. Yeah, I love it. I love interaction, you know, when we do speeches and talks and everything. Sometimes we can kind of like lose our momentum, but we don't want to lose our momentum today, right?
Right.
Too much at stake. Too much at stake. So first, I'd like to thank the organizers. Can we get a round of applause? Amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. And I have this because I'm a channeler. Do you guys know what a channeler is? Raise your hands. No?
No.
So, right, I'm a psychic, I'm a channeler, and I can go off on a tangent. All right, and I'll be here longer than 20 minutes. So I have this to keep me on track, okay? So I want to start by getting to know the room a little. Humor me if you will. It's just God today.
That was a response to your mirror.
It's just everything. It's everything. All right. Raise your hand if you came here to be inspired. Good. Raise your hand if you feel a connection to my topic, aligning with your soul purpose. Okay. Now let's get specific. Raise your hand if you ever felt or allowed fear to stop you. Keep your hand raised if you felt the fear, but you pushed through it anyways. Boom. All right. Look around the room. This is proof that we're all in this together. Whether we allow our fears to hold us back or we find the strength to push through them, we all have a relationship with fear, right? We understand what it's like to allow the fear to stop us from going for what is ours. Today I want to address that, and I want to help you understand your fear and maybe even love it. If I can get you to be friends with your fear, I did my job here today. Who thinks that is like a high ticket? I'm putting out there right now. You're like, Uma, you know. Yeah, and he's like, yeah, we'll see about that one. Well, I'm going to share 3 key elements today to help you align with your soul purpose. But let's make this topic more personable to you. As I was introduced, I'm a spiritual teacher, so I'm going to do spiritual stuff, all right? Humor me if you will. Close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. One more time, deep breath in. Exhale. Now I want you to think of one fear, a big one, the one that has always constantly held you back in life. Just name it silently, don't tell anybody, envision it. And I want you to put some parameters around it. How long have you had this fear? How big is this fear? Where does it reside? Is it in your gut? Is it in your throat? Your heart? Now, I want you can open your eyes. I like an audience to follow. I just love it. You guys are good. I want you to imagine pulling that fear out of you and just putting it on the chair next to you. Don't worry if someone's sitting next to you. Put it in their lap.
I don't want it.
Yeah. Tell them it's okay. You know, your fear only bites you, nobody else. I want you to sit your fear outside of yourself because I want you to see something about it. It's not as big as you think it is, right? Some of you, I noticed, were using 2 hands. Some of you were using 1 hand. But the idea is the same. It's something manageable. why then do we allow our fears to consume us? I want to share a story with you. When I was 17 years old, I decided I wanted to go to college. Now that's not a big thing over here. That's like a rite of passage, right? Finish high school, you go to college. But for a young girl growing up in Guyana, that was a bit of a stretch. Because I wanted to go to college in America. Right. Not the one university we have in our country. We just have one. I wanted to go to America. Not the ones in England, because I'm British born, so I'm a dual citizen, British citizen. So it would probably be easier and cheaper, you know, for me to go to college in England. No, I wanted to go to America because my purpose led me to America. Do you understand this? Right? It may sound unusual, but isn't that the way purpose works? Sometimes we get an inkling, right? I want to do something, but it doesn't make sense to anybody else but ourselves. She knows. Right? And we follow it. We have to. It's like a guiding light. If we don't follow it, how do we feel? Bad. Unfulfilled. Giving up. Right? It didn't make sense. But the thing about following your purpose is that while it's happening, it never makes sense. The sense comes later. I didn't tell my parents about wanting to go to college because at that time, it wasn't really necessary for a girl, a young Guyanese girl, to get further education. All my friends were marrying their high school sweethearts right out of high school and having babies. So it was expected for me as well to do the same thing. So what I did was I silently pursued my purpose. On Saturday mornings, I would have my mom drop me off at the one library in town. We only have one library, whole country at that time. And I would wait until she drove off. And then I would cross the street to the American library that had just recently opened. Because you see, being a high school student in Guyana, we were allowed to go to the American library. And I went in there, and I was terrified. There were Americans in the library, AKA white people. And I never talked to a white person before. I was terrified. Can you imagine? Yes. So they had these box things called computers. We didn't have computers in high school. We didn't even have doors. We didn't have windows, right? It was so hot in Guyana, by the way, tropical country, and we didn't have central air. So you always wanted to sit by the window so you could hopefully get a breeze. But then you didn't want to sit there when it was raining because you'd be soaked. So here I am, this young Guyanese girl in this American library with very nice librarians, but they're white. I don't know what's that. And then there's these box things called computers. Don't know what that is either. So I did it the old school way. They had books. How many of you remember that? They had books that said how many colleges were in America. Do you guys remember that? We're dating ourselves. I'm 30. I don't know about you guys. So I had to go through these books, and I didn't understand America. Okay? Let me give you some facts that you need to know. America is 46 times larger than my country. America has 333 million people. My country has 500,000 people, and I think we all know each other, right? It was overwhelming, but I learned, and I did it, and I pushed. I learned that my grandmother lives in a state called New Jersey, so maybe I should find colleges in New Jersey in case some American tries to attack me. But I'm sharing with you how I taught as a 17-year-old naive girl who never lived anywhere but her home country. And I found some colleges and I figured it out, and I went through the application process. No parents to help me, no college guidance counselor, right? What's that? We don't have doors or windows, so. And I did. I applied to 3 colleges and I got into all 3. Yes, you can applaud. That was the power of my purpose, reigning over my fear. My purpose was louder than my fear, and that purpose became my guiding light. Was I terrified? Absolutely. Have you ever been terrified following your purpose? Yes, you have. Did my knees shake and my voice tremble when I had to tell my parents what I did? Yes. But I did it. Fear will always show up when you're about to do something big. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
How many of you felt fearful coming here today? My speakers, right? It's nerve-wracking. I used to let fear stop me, but in my long relationship with fear, okay, I'm 47. Thank you. Something changed for me. I stopped resisting it. I got tired of resisting it. Anybody there yet? And you know what I did? I leaned into it. I leaned into my fear. And I learned something very important that you need to know. Fear is not your enemy. It is your most valuable teacher and friend. Every time I felt fear was at a time when I was about to expand. And I know many of you have felt that too. Those moments where your fear was actually guiding you closer to your truth. The funny thing about moving past fear is that the universe, or God, or Mother Nature, whatever, we all believe in everything here, we accept it. The universe aligns everything for you once you get past the fear. Not only were my parents supportive of me, shocker, but something else was happening that I had no clue of as a young, naive 17-year-old girl. She didn't know you need a visa to go to another country, right? My grandmother, the same one, for years was applying for our green card citizenship. I didn't know about that. Did you know we got our citizenship, our green card residency, at the same time my college acceptance letters came through? Right? I was able to attend college, not as an international student, but as a resident. My dad was happy about that. So I discovered another key element in this fearless growth process. True inner power doesn't come from pushing through obstacles or pretending to be fearless. It doesn't come from forcing your way. What does it come from? Alignment. Alignment means that your choices, your values, your actions align with your soul purpose. When you are aligned, you don't have to chase power. You are powerful. When you are aligned, you're not limited. You're limitless. When you are aligned, you don't have to force anything. The universe, or God, or Mother Nature, provides everything for you. I want you to think back to a time when you made a decision that may have looked scary to others. Do you remember that? When you felt like the whole world was against you and you were only by yourself. How many, and you don't have to put your hand up if you don't want to, but how many of you have been through divorces? How many of you have left careers or jobs that your family didn't approve of? How many of you have maybe a spiritual path or a religion that other people don't approve of? Right? The idea is that at some point in time, you're going to go for it. You're going to feel the fear, and you're going to do it anyways. It felt right to you, right? That's alignment. It felt like I can't breathe without this. That's alignment. And when you live from that place, you transcend fear. And that brings me to the last piece of this puzzle on how do we live fearlessly? Purpose. Purpose is what turns ordinary life into extraordinary living. Do you have purpose? I guess nobody does. Just I have to teach all of them? Busy. Right. You have purpose, and purpose is what makes you feel like getting up every day. Purpose is what makes you get up at the crack of dawn to drive through DC traffic to get here. Okay? And we're a bra. Still mad about that. When you live from purpose, you stop waiting for permission. You stop trying to shrink, to fit in. You stop letting other people take the bait, right? But here's the beautiful part about purpose. It's not just for you. So stop feeling selfish for following your purpose. It's for the world. Because when one woman walks in her purpose, she lights the way for others to follow. I'm going to give you a gift here as we come down to the end of my time. I'd like you to close your eyes again. And I want you to summarize my speech. Fear is not your enemy, it's your friend. Alignment is your pathway forward. And purpose is the fuel that carries you. I want you to pick up your fear and put it back into your heart and place your hands on your heart. And I want you to think on one thing that if money was no object and you had all the time in the world, what is one thing you could do for free and you won't mind doing it? It's not a bother at all. What is that one thing? That one thing, that whisper in your soul, is the seed of your purpose. That is the compass that can guide you towards a fearless and aligned life. You're not here to shrink. You're not here to fit in. And you are not here to be invisible. You are all here to awaken to your inner power, to walk boldly in your truth, and to live fearlessly. May peace, love, and light bless you all the days of your life. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
You know, it's interesting because so many of us, can you hear me? I have to pick up.